Here's a question that makes most people uncomfortable. Open your banking app right now and count how many recurring monthly charges you see. Streaming services, apps, software subscriptions, gym memberships, meal kits, cloud storage, music, news, productivity tools. How many are there? 5, 10, 15? And here's the follow-up question that really stings. How many of those did you actually use in the past 30 days? For most people, the gap between what they're paying for and what they're using is massive. And that gap is costing them a house down payment, early retirement, financial freedom. Not because any single subscription is expensive, but because they stack, they hide, they auto-renew, and nobody tracks them. This is educational content, not personal financial advice. What I'm sharing is a framework to help you see where your money goes and make better decisions, not a specific recommendation for your situation. Here's what's happening. The average American now spends over $200 per month on subscriptions. That number has doubled in the past 5 years. And most people, if you ask them to estimate what they spend, they're off by 30 to 50%. They think it's $100. It's actually $200. They think they have 7 subscriptions. They have 14. The disconnect is the problem. Let me show you what this costs over time. Say you're spending $200 a month on subscriptions. That's $2,400 a year. If you cut that in half, you're saving $1,200 a year. If you invest that $1,200 annually at historical market returns, in 10 years, you're looking at $18,000 to $20,000. In 20 years, it's over $60,000. In 30 years, you're approaching $200,000. That's the opportunity cost of subscriptions you don't use or barely value. Now, let's say you don't cut it in half. You just trim 20%, $40 a month. That's still $8,000 to $10,000 over 10 years invested. That's an emergency fund. That's a Roth IRA getting funded. That's breathing room. And you gave it up for streaming services you forgot you had. Here's the trap. Subscriptions are designed to be invisible. They're small enough that you don't notice them. They auto-renew, so you don't have to think about them. And they're spread across multiple cards and accounts, so you never see the total. It's brilliant business model design and terrible for your wealth. You sign up for a free trial, forget to cancel, and 6 months later you're paying $15 a month for something you used once. The psychology is what gets you. When you pay for something once, you evaluate it. Is this worth it? Do I need this? But when it auto-renews monthly, you stop evaluating. It becomes background noise. And companies know this. The entire subscription economy is built on the idea that people won't cancel even when they're not getting value, because canceling requires effort and monthly charges require nothing. Let's talk about the frameworks that fix this. First one is the subscription value ladder. 3 tiers. Bottom tier is essential. These are subscriptions you use multiple times per week that would genuinely disrupt your life if they disappeared. For most people, that's internet, phone, maybe one streaming service, cloud storage if you need it for work. The bar for essential is high. If you wouldn't notice it was gone for a week, it's not essential. Middle tier is occasional. You use it once or twice a month, it adds some value, but you could live without it. Maybe that's a second streaming service, a music app, a productivity tool you use sporadically. These are the ones you need to watch, because they can drift into waste without you noticing. Top tier is waste. You signed up and forgot about it. You used it once and never again. You're paying for features you don't need. You have 2 subscriptions that do the same thing. This is where the money is bleeding. And for most people, 30 to 50% of their subscriptions are in this tier. Here's the decision system. For every subscription, you run 3 questions. Question 1. Did I use this in the past 30 days? If no, cancel it. You're paying for something you don't use. That's not a budget, that's a donation. Question 2. Does this subscription provide value equal to or greater than its cost? A $15 streaming service you use 3 times a week. That's probably worth it. A $10 app you open once, not worth it. Question 3. Can I get the same value for less? Maybe you're paying for premium when free works fine. Maybe you have 3 streaming services and you only need one. Maybe you're paying monthly when annual is cheaper. Run those 3 questions on every subscription. If it fails any of them, it goes on the chopping block. Now let's walk through the 90-day subscription reset. This is how you audit everything, cut the waste, and set up a system so it doesn't creep back. Day 1 through 7, Discovery Phase. You're hunting down every subscription. Check your bank statements for the past 3 months. Look for recurring charges. Check your email for receipts and renewal notices. Check your credit cards, all of them. Make a list. Name of service, monthly cost, annual cost if you're paying yearly, last time you used it. This phase is just awareness. Most people find 3 to 5 subscriptions they completely forgot about. Day 8 through 14, Evaluation Phase. You run the 3 questions on each subscription. Use it in 30 days? Value equal to cost? Can you get it cheaper? Mark each one as keep, cancel, or downgrade. Be honest. If you're keeping it because you might use it someday, that's not a good reason. If you're keeping it out of guilt or sunk cost, cancel it. Day 15 through 30, Execution Phase. You actually cancel. This is where people fail because canceling subscriptions is deliberately annoying. Companies hide the cancel button. They make you call. They offer you discounts to stay. Push through. If a service offers you 50% off to stay, ask yourself if you'd pay full price next year. If not, cancel now. Don't let a temporary discount trap you for another year. Day 31 through 90, Monitoring Phase. You track what you miss. If you cancel something and you genuinely need it back, fine, resubscribe. But most of the time, you won't miss it. After 90 days, the new lean subscription stack becomes normal. You've broken the habit of mindless subscriptions. Here's what people get wrong. They think they need to cancel everything and live like it's 2005. You don't. The goal isn't 0 subscriptions. The goal is intentional subscriptions. If you're paying for 3 things you use constantly and they improve your life, great. Keep them. But if you're paying for 12 things and using 4, you've got a problem. Let me give you the math on common subscription traps. Streaming services, this is the big one. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, Peacock, Paramount+. If you have all of those, you're spending close to $100 a month. Over a year, that's $1,200. Over 10 years invested, that's $18,000 to $20,000. And here's the reality. Most people watch 1 or 2 services regularly and the rest sit unused. The fix is rotation. Keep 1 or 2, cancel the rest. When you finish what you're watching, cancel and rotate to a different service. You're paying for content, not loyalty. Gym memberships, another classic trap. Average cost is $50 to $70 a month. If you go 3 times a week, great, keep it. If you go once a month or not at all, you're paying $800 a year to feel guilty. Cancel it, work out at home, or pay per visit at a cheaper gym. The per visit cost has to be cheaper than the monthly membership for the membership to make sense. News and media subscriptions. New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, local paper, magazine subscriptions. Each one is $10 to $20 a month. If you read them daily, fine. If you're paying for 4 and reading 1, consolidate. Meal kit services. These run $60 to $120 a week. Over a year, that's $3,000 to $6,000. If it's saving you time and you'd otherwise eat out, maybe it works. But if you're getting meal kits and still ordering takeout, you're just adding expense. Most people find meal kits convenient for a month, and then they become another subscription they forget to pause. Apps and software. Adobe Creative Cloud, Microsoft 365, Dropbox, Evernote, language learning apps, meditation apps, dating apps, VPN services, password managers. Individually, they're small. $10 here, $15 there. But they stack. If you have 10 of these, that's $150 a month. Audit every one. If you haven't opened it in 60 days, cancel it. Here's a quick test. Log into your bank account right now and filter for recurring charges in the past 90 days. Count them. Then calculate the monthly total. If it's over 15% of your take-home pay, you've got subscription creep. If you see charges you don't recognize, you've got forgotten subscriptions. Either way, you need to audit. Let's talk about what this looks like in practice. Say you're spending $250 a month on subscriptions. You run the audit. You find 15 active subscriptions. You apply the decision system. 5 are essential. You keep them, that's $90. 3 are occasional. You keep 2 and cancel 1. That's $25. 7 are waste. You cancel all of them. Your new total is $115. You just freed up $135 a month. That's $1,600 a year. Invested over 10 years, that's $25,000. What do you do with the money you free up? You don't just let it sit in checking. You redirect it. If you don't have an emergency fund, build that first. If your emergency fund is set, open a Roth IRA and automate the contribution. If you've got high-interest debt, throw it at the balance. The point is, you're trading subscriptions you don't use for wealth you do need. Here's the mindset shift. Subscriptions aren't bad. Unconscious subscriptions are bad. If you budget $150 a month for subscriptions and you actively choose what you're paying for and you use them, that's fine. But if you're spending $250 and half of it is waste, that's a leak. The goal is to move from passive to active, from auto-renew to intentional choice. Now, let's talk about preventing this from happening again. Once you've done the reset, you need a system to keep it clean. Rule 1. No free trials unless you set a cancellation reminder. The trial is designed to convert to paid without you noticing. If you sign up, put a reminder in your calendar 2 days before it ends. Cancel or commit, but don't drift into paying. Rule 2. Annual subscriptions only if you're certain. Monthly gives you flexibility to cancel anytime. Annual locks you in. Don't pay annually for something you've only used for 2 months. If you've used it for a year and you're sure you'll use it next year, then annual makes sense because it's usually cheaper. Rule 3. 1 in, 1 out. If you add a new subscription, you cancel an old one. This keeps your total stable. You're not growing your subscription stack indefinitely. You're making trade-offs. Rule 4. Quarterly audit. Every 3 months, you review the list. Did I use this? Is it still worth it? Do I still need it? This takes 10 minutes. It saves you hundreds or thousands of dollars. Here's what changes when you fix this. First, you stop feeling like money is disappearing. Subscriptions are invisible spending. When you clean them up, you regain control. Second, you have more money available for actual priorities. That emergency fund gets built. That investment account gets funded. That debt gets paid down. Third, you realize you don't miss most of what you canceled. The fear of missing out is worse than the actual missing out. Let me walk you through 3 scenarios to show you the impact. Scenario 1. Person spending $300 a month on subscriptions, never audits, continues for 10 years. Total spent, $36,000. Opportunity cost if invested, about $55,000 to $60,000. Lost wealth from subscriptions, close to $60,000 over a decade. Scenario 2. Person spending $300, does 1 audit, cuts to $150, maintains that for 10 years. Total spent, $18,000. Opportunity cost if the savings were invested, about $28,000. Net position compared to Scenario 1, better by $30,000 to $35,000. Scenario 3. Person spending $300, does an audit, cuts to $100, invests the $200 per month saved. Total spent on subscriptions, $12,000. Total invested from savings, $24,000 contributed over 10 years, grows to $35,000 to $40,000. Net position compared to Scenario 1, better by $70,000 to $80,000 over 10 years. That's from canceling subscriptions. Here's the thing people don't realize. The companies want you to stay subscribed. They will make it hard to cancel. They'll offer you discounts. They'll ask why you're leaving. They'll make you feel guilty. Ignore all of it. If you don't use it, cancel it. If the discount doesn't make it worth using, cancel it. If you feel guilty, cancel it anyway. You're not obligated to keep paying for something that doesn't serve you. And here's the final piece. Subscriptions are a monthly decision, not a permanent commitment. Just because you cancel doesn't mean you can't resubscribe later. If you cancel Netflix and 3 months later there's a show you want to watch, sign up for a month, watch it, cancel again. You're in control. The default should be not subscribed. You subscribe when you need it, not because you once needed it. So here's where you are. If you're spending more than 10% of your income on subscriptions, you need to audit. If you can't name every subscription you're paying for off the top of your head, you need to audit. If you haven't canceled a subscription in the past year, you definitely need to audit. The subscription value ladder gives you the tiers. The 3-question decision system gives you the filter. The 90-day reset gives you the process. And the compound math gives you the reason to care. This isn't about deprivation. It's about intention. Cancel the waste, keep what matters, invest the difference. That's how you escape the subscription trap and start building real wealth.